Hello there, wee Paddy from across the shuck, and another video this morning, and it's a copy, a clone, a homage to a Spyderco Techno. They have not tried to hide it and give you the box, they have not tried to bluff you, they have absolutely no markings on the knife whatsoever. The only thing that you see, is D2. Whether it is or not, I have no idea, but I have tested it, and it does work as an EDC knife, and it resharpens quite well. In fact, very well it resharpens. And I mean, this is not a slicer by any means. It's just a short, stumpy little work knife. Maybe not work knife. It doesn't have to be a work knife. It carries in the pocket really well because it's not that thick. It's just a little small, handy to use. It's nearly like a club of a knife. So, gearbest call it an outdoor titanium alloy handle camping pocket folding knife for a gift. Why use one word when there's 12 can do? So what is it? It's a great little knife, let's be honest. It's just a great little work knife. It's titanium handles. It's got the Spyderco opening hole. It has got a really stocky blade, which is about 7/16. It's got a frame lock. There's a little bit of lock stick with it, but it's got better than when it was new, to be honest with you, and it's getting better day by day. I can't flick it out yet, but it will come. It's on bearings. It's very, very free. It's nice. It's on bearings. It's got the wire clip, which is not probably as good as the real one. It's a bit weaker, probably a bit thinner, but it works perfectly well. I've held it all day, bending up, down, not a movement. Little hole for a small pocket clip there. If you want to take it, it's left or right, tip up only. And I said ball bearings today. There's a lovely titanium backspacer here. It's just really, the fit and finish is immaculate. It really is good. Is it centered? Your bottom dollar, it is centered. It's lovely. Really nice. The only thing that I can fault and show you the fault of is this. The Torx construction is either side on the pivot, and I can't get that apart. Now, I suppose if I heated it, I could get it apart. But it's made of ball bearings. I didn't need to. I tried to do it once, and you will see I slipped, cut myself, and stuck the Torx screw right up the end of my finger. So I stopped doing it after crying like a baby. Well, I didn't cry, but I screamed like a baby. So I've now got a nice scuffed one. But the joy of today's viewing is that people always say to me, yeah, but you never know, is the next one going to be as good as the one you're showing, or have you just got a good copy? Well, there's an answer to that. I have another one in that box that I have not used. I have just taken it out of the paper because when I got this one, it come wrapped in a little Johnny bag, as they call them, and inside it was full of oil, so I knew that was going to happen, so I've taken it out of that, and we're going to compare them before I do anything. Well, not before I do anything. I'm going to do everything first, and then we'll compare them to let you see what the consistency's like, which I think is great. It's an option I don't get all the time. So to have two of them from the same place, let's compare it later. Right, we're going to give you some weights and measures. I don't know what the real one is. This is £30 today, which is what, about $35, $36. The real one's about $200. I wouldn't pay that for this size of a knife, because it's just not for me. If it was for me, yes, I would pay it, but I feel that this is a knife that I probably wouldn't buy at $200, but at 30 quid, I will do. I'll buy it and I'll use it, and it is a real lovely little knife. I've had a lot of joy out of this. So let's turn it on and see where we are. We are in grams, and it is 101.6 grams. And in ounces, it is 3.58. So perfectly serviceable. And for a stocky knife with a blade stock, I did measure the blade stock is... I've forgotten. The blade stock is 1, 2, 3/8, which is about 4.5 millimeters. So you've got a real good stocky blade. And I know across the black it's 7/16. So, I mean, it's slim, slips in the pocket, deep carry. The grip and the traction on it, this is, well, I don't know whether it is supposed to be a forward choil or not, but it is perfect. It really is. I can get all 4 fingers. I have medium to large. I take a large glove, so I mean it really does fit in there perfectly, and there's no movement. There is absolutely no movement in that head, up, down, sideways, nothing. So it is a knife you could poke, pry with, and if it was $200, would you do that? Probably not, but for 30 quid or $36, $37, I will poke and pry to my heart's content with this. Really, really nice. I say fit and finish I can't fault. I really genuinely can't fault. It seems working. The only thing I don't like is that Loctite, but I'll maybe try at a later date to get it apart. It's bearings, and I put a bit of, I use this, and I highly recommend this KPL. I've been using it now for, well, quite a few months, and the results have been very, very good. So I put that in there. I don't need to take it apart. It's working perfectly, and there's not that many moving parts in it, so it'll do till something goes wrong, and then I'll try again. So, what else? What length is it? Right, let's get her lined up here. I'll turn it over. I like that turned over now. And then I can line the butt up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Literally a smidge over 6 inches long, with a blade length which is about 2 1/4, cutting edge about 2 1/2 full length, and that means it is 1, 2, 3.5 inches long handle. What more can I tell you about this knife? Do you want to know? We'll do. This is our usual comparison. There's the Delica, so that gives you more of an idea of what the knife looks like. The only other knife that I've got that looks like this is this here, and this is about exactly the same size, and this one is the CH knife. I'll take it up there because it is a direct comparison. Now, isn't that, they're exactly the same size. The blade shapes are not the same. This one's got carbon fibre, and it has osseate, which I don't mind at all. It's really good. It's well tempered, and it sharpens well and cuts well. Now, this one would last longer, definitely in a cut test. Now, in a slicing test, this will beat it hands down because it's a much finer knife. It's not as bulky. Look at the difference in the thickness in that back. It really does make... This would be like a gentleman's carry, and this is a thug. So, it's a thug. It's a thug of a wee knife. And that's a nice comparison. To me, that's what it would remind me of, as a little thug. So, do you want to see what the comparison's like to a brand new one? I say, it's just come out of the box. You can see by this, there is no markings. It has no snail trails. It has not been used. It's exactly the same pocket clip. It opens well. There's a little bit of lock stick. Exactly the same. Is it centered? It is centered. Now, is there a difference? Is there a difference in workmanship? No. The only difference is this splay, but that's because I've carried and used it. But other than that, it is absolutely identical. There is no difference in it whatsoever. Look how well finished they are. Look how well finished. For 30 quid, $36, $37 for a titanium knife in purportedly D2, I really am not sure, but I do know that it cuts fine. There's no problem. Left or right carry, and you can see the colour difference. Because this is used, it has taken the colour off my hands, but mine was lovely and silver and shiny, and I've got my scratch marks in this. But what does this one come like out of the box? This is it out of the box. Look at that. This is a $30 knife. Oh, my goodness, I'm going to stab myself. Oh. You see a belly in old age? It's not a good thing. So, this is my original one. This has been resharpened, but listen to this. It's just... They do take a lovely, lovely edge. Now, whether that's a D2 edge, I'll just leave it up to you. Are you worried that much that you would want to test it? I'm personally not, because I know that I've given it my work test, and I know it's fine. And it sharpens up okay. But what a lovely little knife. So, let's get back. This is the one this is brand new. And because I'll not need two of them, I'm going to do a wee giveaway for this one that's got scratch marks on it. Now, I'm not going to do it today, but it will be on a future giveaway. I'll find a reason to do it. So, would I recommend it? Absolutely not a problem. Do you know, I never measured this, and oh dear, I'll be getting shouted at. It is 6.5 centimeters long, and the blade, it is 15.25. Sorry, 15.25 centimeters in the full length, and the handle length is about 9 centimeters. Keep forgetting to do that. So, what about, yeah, it's a great little knife, and you've seen it's got there's two knives, and they both came at completely different times, so they're not necessarily even from the same batch. I mean, there was a month's difference. So, today it's about 30 quid, and you know what gearbest is like. It can go up and down, and you can hang on if you want to. For me, it's worth 30 quid. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's worth 30 quid. Would I spend my own money on it? Yes, 100%. Would I spend £200 on the Spyderco version? No, I wouldn't, because I have less use for this knife than I would have others. But it is nice to have in the collection if I do want to do some bow drill even. You know, if you want to do a bow drill for cutting holes, yes, this would be perfect for it. Really would be perfect for doing stuff like that. Or, you know, a bit of carving where you actually have to dig and you need to pry. This is perfect. So, there you go. I think it's a lovely little knife. I know it's a homage. I know there's a lot of you don't like that sort of thing. I can cope with it. If you can't, I'm not doing it to upset you. It's just, this is what I got from gearbest, and I'm happy with it. I'll use it, and I will recommend it on its merits as a knife. So, I shall leave you with the little comparison. This little CH was a gift from my mate in Sweden, and I absolutely love it. It's a lighter version of that. So it's a gentleman and the boxer. So, with that, I leave you. Goodbye. Thank you very much. A cup of tea is very much welcomed. Bye-bye now. Bye.